Since the first CGI meeting 2 years ago, as of yesterday morning, more than 600 commitments had been made. This morning, I want to focus a little more on what those commitments have actually meant to people's lives around the world and the ways in which this CGI effort has grown since 2005. For this meeting, 1,288 members from 6 continents have made the trip here. Over 400 voices from more than 50 countries have been speakers, including people from Iran to Iceland to India, from South Africa to South America to the South Bronx. This year, 38 NGOs from the developing world are attending. And in just the last 24 hours, more than 100 commitments have been announced. According to our commitments team, which works with commitment makers around the world and monitors their progress, commitments that were made in 2005 and 2006, when fully implemented, will affect the lives of more than 80 million people. We've had over 700 commitments now in 3 years, with 2 days to go. Each of the 4 tracks, poverty, education, climate, and health, have substantial numbers of commitments, and I think I'll have the numbers here at the end of my talk. They involve more than 1,000 organizations working in 100 countries. Here are some examples. Yesterday, I said that in the previous 2 years, 20 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions will be avoided because of previous commitments. The ones in the last day bring that total to 555 million tons of CO2 avoided. More than 3.2 million people have been reached with clean energy services in the developing world. 340 of our leading colleges and universities in the United States have joined a commitment to achieve climate neutrality, representing 3 million students, or 17% of our undergraduates in 46 of the 50 American states and Puerto Rico. 27 mayors in America have agreed to significantly reduce the environmental impact of their cities. More than 368,000 children are expected to benefit from significant improvements in education. And as I said yesterday, 296,000 children in post-conflict zones will receive education they need and deserve. By the end of 2007, 34 million people will be targeted for treatment through the Global Network for Neglected Tropical Disease Control's Rapid Impact Packages, which can control these deadly diseases for just 50 cents per person per year. More than 250,000 HIV-infected individuals have gotten comprehensive HIV care. More than 130,000 have initiated AIDS treatment with antiretroviral therapy just as a result of Columbia University's commitment to expand its International Center for AIDS Care and Treatment. $124,550,000 has been devoted to produce fortified foods to fight malnutrition in developing countries. 1.2 million patients throughout Chad, Sudan, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo have received emergency and primary care, including mental health services, through the International Medical Corps' Mental Health Services in Conflict-Affected Regions commitment. Around the world, 8.8 million patients are receiving primary and emergency care. 850,000 children under 5 were reached in 25 countries with life-saving services. 45,000 women receive maternal health services as a result of CGI commitments. More than 120,000 infants have been vaccinated against rotavirus as a result of Merck's commitment to provide free doses of Rototec to every infant born in Nicaragua through 2009. Over 270 microfinance institutions have been provided with funding, as I said yesterday, permitting access to finance for about 3 million micro-entrepreneurs. As a result, 11,260,000 people are expected to gain increased access to sustainable incomes. More than 1,500 students from the United States and the Middle East joined in dialogue forums to address differences of faith, culture, and nationality, to overcome stereotypes and animosity. Tens of thousands engaged in activities to lobby, raise awareness, and fundraise to stop the mass atrocities in Darfur. And interestingly enough, to this point, more than 60% of all the commitments have been made not by individual NGOs, individual philanthropists, individual business people, but through new partnerships, through people who actually met here and decided to work together. That's the best indicator I have of what kinds of things are going on here that would not have happened but for this meeting.